Don't make me cry. If you believe in love, instead of dragging me down. And now I'm missing you. This day you're not around. And it's you're not around. It's like you're
So Brian Jonestown Massacre Anemone, that one for Serena listening to Menlo Park said, college and independent radio has saved my life at a 9-to-5 job. And I have a long running list of songs I've discovered from the likes of you. Who knew Spotify and algorithms when you have real humans trading songs like baseball cards? I love that. Everybody's hero, that one for Eric. Eric said, thank you, Stacey AA, if you're listening, for recommending PEXP back in 2008. The DJs are all stellar no matter when they tune in. Shout out to the assistants who reply to texts. Thank you all for being a powerful antidote to the creeping fascism. If you could squeeze a last song, my recommendation would be David Bowie's Heroes. Thank you for that great suggestion. And I got another message here. Let's see, from Mark. Mark said, I moved here from Minneapolis and have been thinking of the city often these last weeks. If you can fit it in, I'd love to hear some local Minneapolis music from Polisa. I love all their music, but Dark Star is one of my favorites. Thanks for being here.
All right, hey. Normally, right, I'd start my stream with Stoking Day to y'all, and I hope everyone is well out there. Anybody maybe checking this out, Race World, etc. If not checking this out, that's all good too. I hope your race day is going killer. Yeah, it's a time here in the States, like the DJ from KXP was just saying, mentioning creeping fascism that has now completely out in the open here in the United States of America. It's fucking gross. Fuck ICE. Fuck the fascist federal regime currently occupying the federal government out of Washington, D.C. Fuck every single American voter that put their faith in a sleazeball comment, convicted criminal, accused pedophile, and yeah, man. Yeah, fuck all that noise. So yeah, we're getting rid of some Asia Oceania region race. We got some Policia in the background, Minneapolis band. This is a fucking sick ass song. So fucking jam right there. Discovered that song when I was living up in Seattle. Must have been about 2011. Beautiful song, Dark Star. All right, so hey, as always, all my competitors, may y'all find success, whatever goal it is you have set ahead of yourselves to achieve. May we either maintain or gain our sportsmanship / safety experience of a fun-ass race, a competitive race. For myself in the state, as always, my primary goal is to earn, keyword earn, the respect of my competitors, keep my driving honorable, keeping it classy, equally as important, maintain my composure, keep my emotions in check. That includes how I handle my vehicle race scenarios. That includes any verbal opinions I may want to express about my competitors. Should I feel the need to do so, ideally, make sure it's set opinions within the PMA. It's positive mental attitude, certified, so to speak. Long story short, don't get mad here, cars in my car, and don't talk smack. So yeah, again, first race of the night. Just got off work today. Been jonesing the race all day. Was hoping to get a slight improvement on my current qualifying time. I did get an improvement on the. Whoa, Jesus! I did get an improvement on it, but could have been better. Jesus, super fucked up right there, man. Had like a whole second on those guys. Super fucked up. Anyways, yeah, fired up to get some racing. Again, not fired up on the state of the world. One of my coworker asked me today, he's like, Hector, what's going on, man? Like, usually you're like hella happy-go-lucky, hella smiling and shit, man. I'm like, dog, I don't think there's anything to be happy about right now in this country, man. We've got literal armed agents of the federal government occupying American cities, terrorizing cities. Oh Jesus, just murdered last week a unarmed U.S. citizen, a mother, Renee Nicole Good. I mean, think about that, man. They murdered an unarmed civilian. Just fucking. It's. I was listening to this dude that I listened to. It's got a really informative podcast from a legal perspective. And he's like, you know, man, he's like, I'm getting tired of using the word unprecedented, right? Like everything that's going on right now, we've never seen this. I had never imagined in all my 50 plus revolutions around the great nuclear reactor in the sky that I'd ever see the state that America's at now. LVP and the place to be. Thank you for stopping by. Say hello, my brother. Hope you are well wherever you may be. Yeah, it's literally making me sick to my stomach, man. And I was at work today, man. This coworker's like, Hector, what's going on, man? I'm like, dude, like it's mind blowing to me that that not everyone in the fucking country right now is literally protesting to some degree, right? Whether it may be, you know, being of service to your neighbors, and I'm sure everyone is in their own way, but like, right, just like walking around and laughing, I don't think there's anything to be happy about right now, man. This is a very fucking dark time, a very scary time. Oh shit, I hope that wasn't a penalty. Yeah, it's you know, I've had a few fellow racers come up my stream before, like, Hector, you know, you need to, like, not talk about politics. Motherfucker, I'm going to talk whatever the fuck I want to talk about, right? This is my platform. I'm going to use my voice, man. So for me, this is both a form of my own protest and a form of, frankly, trying to fucking maintain my sanity, man, and where we're at. Look, he's using the who was it that fucking did that trick the other day? Oh Jesus, it was the Plaka Plum. I was watching Plaka last night. He did that, man. I actually tried it in qualifying, and I ended up doing just what that homie did, man. I got hella loose in the grass, man. So yeah, that's a big no for me on doing that one. Ideally, I don't want to be getting any fucking penalties, but yeah. So yeah, yeah, again, man, hope everyone out there as well, especially shout out to all the people out in Minneapolis fighting the good fight right now, man. It's not the first city. It's definitely not going to be the last that we're going to see, the current obscenity that are the actions of the Trump regime, right? And you know what? And that's another thing, man. I'm like, I think this guy's like literally fucking on his last legs, right? He appears to be just fucking losing it himself. You know, he's a very old man, and we all know, well, maybe not all of us know, but those of us here in the States know that the real animal behind the puppet that is Donald Trump are the Project 2025 cats, i.e. the fucking Stephen Miller and the Russell Vogt and all these guys, right? These fucking weird ass Christian nationalist motherfuckers, man. And it's at what point do our representatives in Congress start to fucking rein these motherfuckers in, man? At this point right now, again, we're in full blown active fascism here in the United States, man. Oh Jesus. And yeah, so I super fucked up. We got I'm gathering the ass man, or AKA the A55. Yeah, shout out to that homie for. Yeah, I'm listening to the what are these guys called? The not the dead presidents, the dead pioneers. Woo-wee, let's go. All right, so yeah, on a whole nother subject, on the actual subject of racing, forgive me, man, I'm just like kind of like vomiting out everything that's going on my mind right now, man. It's you know, to be fair, man, there's a lot of people that come into my work, both co-workers and frankly just customers. I live in a very quote unquote red zone of California, historically a very large population of Trump supporters, MAGA supporters. And to be fair, man, I think a lot of people are talking about it now, man. I try to broach a subject whenever possible, man, just to get people to talk about it. Like it's the big fucking elephant in the room, right? And yeah, so. Go take it, bro. If you want to go take it, go take it. I got you. You're good. Oh, okay. I was going to give it to him. Oh, Jesus. Shit, sorry about that, bro. I was trying to tell him to take the inside line, but he was like, it looked like he was going to let me have it. So, yeah, shout out to that homie, man. I think at this point he's like, Hector, you're cool, dude. So yeah, I can appreciate that, man. So to the A55 aka the ass man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Holy mo, looks like we got a good amount of separation from the homies behind us. All right, so yeah, I gotta find some way to let this guy get past me because I'm obviously going hell slow. And as I understand it, yeah, it looks like we had an old message right here. The LVPs, the world is crazier than fucking ever, right? Yes, thank you. You know what I mean? It's like I've never been one that frankly felt the need and you know to really be out. I don't know. I don't want to say outlandishly, but rather like really to the point where I'm at right now, man. As far as like I've never been like some conspiracy trying thinking type of dude, or you know what I'm saying, right? I just kind of like have rolled with the punches and kind of learned the you know, understand that hey man, we're a country that's had its issues, man, but for the most part, I think over the course of my lifetime anyways, especially since the late 80s to where we're at now, right? I think we made a lot of social progress domestically speaking. Now internationally speaking, you know, we've always been an empire, right? That's who we always have been, that's who we always will be. And but where we're at right now is just another sort of level that I've never seen before. Like literally, I heard I listened to this podcaster. She goes by the name of she doesn't go by the name. It is her name, Heather Cox Richardson. She's a historian based out of the Northeast, and she basically talks about what like the historical correlations, right, over the course of U.S. history in comparison to where we're at now, and you know, right, that's how we learn. Essentially how to deal and understand the conditions that we're at now, right, is by history, right? History teaches us lessons, right? Every generation is going to go through their own sort of turmoil, for lack of a better term, and she's like, you know, and she'll have to say, hey, like, I'm not quote unquote partisan, I just call it like I see it and how it's going to relate to history. And she's like, yeah, you know, like right now what we're seeing is the whole Putinization, referring to Vladimir Putin, the dictator in Russia. That's who Donald Trump has become at this point right now, right? And again, going back to, I made an earlier comment that the dude appears to be essentially on his fucking last legs, man, and just completely fucking bonkers idiot, right? Like he often appears to be, he's either like completely losing his mind or he's like drugged in a lot of public appearances. And so again, that one man who I don't understand how these people who want to sign up to serve in his administration. There goes the Warhawk. Hello, thank you for stopping by. Say hello. I hope your day is well, the Warhawk. Hope everyone around you is well, and you know, hope we're all looking out for one another. Yeah, I'm just, you know me, man. I'm just speaking what's on my mind, man. And it's weighing heavily, man. I honestly, especially since the murder of Renee Nicole Good last week, man, I really, that just like was like a whole nother level, man. Like that could have been my mom, that could have been my daughter, that could have been my neighbor, that could have been anyone right there. You know, I just finished up. Oh, very nice, very nice. Hey, tell me this: have you been checking out any of the I understand the Manufacturers Cup went active tonight. I was watching Tyrannosaurus, the anti-med. I was watching some of his live stream, but I don't think he was actually in the race yet. I think he was just basically doing like some practice lobby laps. But yeah, again, thanks for stopping by. Say hello. Yeah, going back to what I was talking about just a little while ago, man. And again, man, this is me just fucking stream of consciousness. Give me a sec, bro. I can't read that, my friend. Hey, Watkins Glen. Ooh. Watkins Glen's gonna be part of it too. Okay, wow. I should actually look into that then, man. I really love the Road Atlanta and freaking love the Watkins Glen. Hey, shout out to the 855, aka the Ass Man back there. I wonder if the Ass Man is an alternate account for the There's actually another Australian racer, the Tip Man. I was wondering if it was that. Yeah, again, going back to what I was just, just again, my stream of consciousness right now, man, and what I got to just kind of get off my chest, man, is that these fucking actual quote unquote, these ICE agents, right? These frankly pathetic, obviously, socially stunted individuals. And forgive me, I can't see all that right there. And I mean, it's obvious, right? They've got some serious issues. And what I don't get is, right? Oh, I know what it was. I was listening to something today, and someone had called into or written into a podcast, sent a question to the moderator, like, hey, what do you think, or what's your opinion of this guy? He's a lawyer. What's your thoughts on activating the National Guard in specifically Minnesota, but frankly any given state, right, to combat what's going on right here? And, it's like part of us has to ask, like, who's looking out for the citizens, right? What's going on with these crimes being committed and violence? And this guy's like, he's like, think about that. Like, how insane would that be that in residential neighborhoods in the United States of America, the thought that Americans would be shooting ammunition at other Americans, right? Like armed, like trained in warfare dudes, right? And just the thought of that, right? It's just so inane. It's like almost embarrassing, right, to think about it, right? Like how dumb that sounds, right? And yet there's so many out, or so many I believe that are part of these ICE trainees that are likely some sort of militia dudes who just fucking like, oh my god, here's my golden fucking payday, right? Not to like stereotype the sound of their voice or anything like that, but let's be blunt, man. Like a lot of these fucking MAGAs and the people who support this shit are for the most part going to be middle-aged white dudes. No shade on any of my white homies, man. I love everyone, man, but let's be blunt, And like, at what point are they like, what are they going to ask themselves, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I equate it in many ways to like active alcoholics, right? When I was in my active alcoholism for 28 plus years of my life, especially like the last 15, 20 years of it, I would have people tell me, Hector, you're out of control, or you're drinking too much. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh my God, like, you people are fucking crazy. Like, literally, is everyone in the world crazy and I'm the only one that gets it? I literally thought that, right? I thought that how I was behaving was being free. Anyways, what I'm getting at is it dawned on me one day, oh my God, all these people are right. They've all been right all along, right? I've been the one who's been fucking blind to my insanity, right? And once I found that out, once I understood that, with complete honesty within myself, I couldn't continue to go forward and act like I didn't know, right? Like, so at what point do these guys, I mean, at some point I have to expect they have some shade of, or some even minute amount of potential for empathy for other human beings, right? Like, we're all kids and we all start out kind of perfect, right? And we all just want to love, and obviously we're going to be shaped by our environment in many ways. Some of us coming from problem scenarios, whether it be at the house or where you live, right? I mean, I get that, right? Our surroundings can affect us, right? And shape and mold us, right? But I think, we have to have some sort of inner moral code, and if you don't, then frankly, I mean, that would be the definition of a psychopath. Yeah, right. That's exactly what it is. I mean, it comes from all different ways now. No shade on people who are from a place of faith, man, but I'll be blunt, man. And I grew up in a house of faith, man. I feel it was a very loving house, but at some point I had to find my path and branch off from the organized religion that I was brought up in and just kind of like feel my way, right? There were just some things that I couldn't morally agree with, you know, me, the fucking picture of morality, especially when I was drinking, right? But I think, frankly, I think that's where a lot of the problem stems from is man convincing other man that their idea of what's beyond, you know, our known reality is, you know, quote unquote God's word. I mean, I'll be blunt, you know, that's part of it, you know, insecurity. You know, we all have our own supercomputers, which are fucked up in our own ways, right? Like every one of us, I believe, is crazy to some degree, right? And it's just a matter of, you know, especially if there's like a glitch in my supercomputer, which makes me be an asshole to this type of person, right? Like, oh, can I fix that glitch so I don't act like an asshole to that person, right? Some people can do that. Some people can't. You know, where, yeah, hey, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, hey, I got a clean race rating. Fuck yeah, dude. Pretty psyched, man. All right, so we got the ass, man. That was a hell of a race. All right, so yeah, race number 1 is in the books. I will definitely be doing a second here shortly. I'm going to go take a quick pit stop. Appreciate that, the ass man, or the 855 man. So yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. Pre-race number 2. I don't know what you were trying. There might have been some drama. Appreciate that, Wizard Frank. Pardon me, guys. I'll be right back.
Got so pretty, I'm up to the floor. Gotta be back up and kiss my lips so back up your bags and head out the door. Never felt so damn turned on before. Everyone said I'm too crazy to keep, but you're the one who sweeps me off of my feet. Baby, give me honey that keeps me sweet. Lately I've been thinking you're the one for me, 'cause you love me. 'Cause you love me.
All right, we are gearing it up for race number 2, Asia Oceania region. And if you haven't already seen the title line on my stream tonight, Abolish Ice, right? Normally I'd be putting Stoking race night. You know, I'd be putting Stoking Wednesday, Stoking Thursday, right? For example. I just, again, I don't think this is a time in the United States to be fucking stoked, man. Yeah. It's don't get me wrong, man. I love racing. It's an escape for myself, right? Same goes for me for skateboarding. Same goes with being at work and just interacting with cool people. But it's like, again, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like there's this giant elephant in the room, man, and it's something that I can't be silent on. You know, and for myself, that's going to involve talking about how I'm how I'm dealing with what's going on in this country, and you know, to let people let other people know, rather, excuse me, that hey, we can talk about this, man, and I think we all need to kind of get it out. I think in many ways, if I'm holding it in, right, that's just me harboring negative energy, man, that that needs to be released, right? And for myself, historically speaking, right, 13 years ago, before I got sober, man, I guarantee I'd be hammered as fuck every day, probably be getting into a lot of trouble. I don't drink anymore. which is wonderful, man. Thus, I'm able to keep a clear mind, and while I'm not always going to make the brightest decision in any given scenario, right? I have a little bit more clarity to go into potentially baffling scenarios, right? And my odds of making a better decision on how I want to proceed are gonna thus be better decisions, man. So yeah, again, and for myself, again, just having the opportunity to speak about. So anybody who's still hanging out, listening, LVP, the Warhawk, appreciate y'all stopping by. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to share, man. I just again, something I got to let out, and it's something that I think sooner than later, right? We're all going to be faced with the more real consequences, man. I think where we're at right now is just the start, and I think it's going to get a whole lot worse at some point. Obviously, like to keep the quote unquote worst part of it to a minimum, but yeah. So, anyways, yeah. Stoked to they'll be getting in some racing again. I've been jonesing to race all day at work. There's say 20, 26 those certain people. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of that, man. For the most part, I really don't engage. Well, I don't at all engage with people. Once someone kind of shows me who they are, right, I believe them, and thus, especially if it's an online experience, right, I'm just gonna, I don't need to deal with you. Now out in the public, that's a whole another deal, man. This past Saturday, there was a local protest here in Modesto, and my father and I were there. And shout out, Pops, if you haven't checked this out. And I was actually had my fuck I sign right there. And I think Warhawk, we were discussing this last time you were on. But there was a couple, people that wanted to antagonize the peaceful protesters. And I straight snapped on one of them, like, he's like, fuck you guys, and gave us all the finger. And I just, like, all the rage that I've been feeling, man, I lashed out at this motherfucker. Fuck you, rah! Like, had I had a brick, I would have probably thrown it through his fucking windshield. That's again where I want to. I think it's a lot better outlet for myself to discuss it over here as I'm streaming, right? Than wanting to throw fucking bricks at cars on freeways. So yeah, that's where I'm at, man. And yeah, it's where these people get that from. We all have a choice, right? Like I'm going to make mistakes from time to time. I'm going to snap out. The whole aftermath of the Jonathan Ross, the ICE agent, fucking, let's just call him the fucking murderer. There was a video that was released where that he was actually filming, where after he shot her, he called her a fucking bitch, right? And a lot of people online are like, hey, as the lady's right, we can relate to that. And as a man, I can relate. I've said that. I've said that to I've said that. I'll just leave it right there. I've said it to multiple women in my life, and I'm ashamed to say that, of course. That was my action. But again, man, I'm a flawed human being, and I've done that. And I'd rather fess up to that and move forward and learn from that, and forgive myself for that, right? And realize that was fucking terrible, right? But again, that's what I'm getting at, man. And some of these other cats that you'll see online that'll be wanting to engage, I just try not to engage with them. And frankly, there's a whole thing with there's governments outside of the U.S. that are, and I'm sure the U.S. is part of doing the same thing, right? Where they have these essentially supercomputers imitating human beings in online chat forms, right? Social media, to antagonize one another and to get under each other's skin, man. And that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. I'm sure the U.S. does it to other countries. So I try and remind myself, hey, and you know what? I'm not going to argue with someone who's not fucking there, right? Like, yeah. So, long story short, man, if I'm going to have a some sort of ongoing, especially if it's a conversation discussing alternative points of view, right? I'd rather do it in person. You know, that way we have the opportunity to okay, this person's talking to me, right? You've got the mannerisms, you've got the social cues, right? Can't be hard to know which profile. Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of those out there, right? And I mean, a lot of times, like, for example, you might see something, you'll be like, who the fuck is this, right? And you'll like click on their, for example, Instagram profile, and there's like 0 posts and their shit's private. And you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh God, this is like, it's weird, right? That's a real bummer part about the internet, that people using it for nefarious activities. But you know, I mean, if there's a buck to be made at some point, you know, that we're going to see that sort of behavior. So again, I don't engage with those people. If it's something I find particularly offensive, whether it be on Facebook or on YouTube or on Instagram, for example, the 3 main social media sites that I use, I block them. You know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you know, like Facebook, Instagram, owned by Meta, the fucking whatever that douchebag's name is. Really disgusted that he was a part of the whole Trump inauguration. Oh Jesus, super screwed that up, didn't I? But you know, I like Instagram. Mainly, I'm there for the skateboarding videos. Same thing with Facebook. Actually, Facebook's more like staying connected with old like high school friends and just friends from the past that I just don't see too often anymore, and family. Other than that, I'm not really on there. I just go on there, and Facebook's also good, I think, to like if I'm going to post like a news link or like a what's that Substack, right? Is that what's called, that essentially page where it's almost akin to Reddit in a way. I'm just barely becoming familiarized with the Substack, right? Yeah, there's some really great material on there that I've read recently. So those who don't know, that's a great tool. Yeah, and then you know, again, I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube pretty much all day. Skateboarding videos, racing videos, and podcasts and things of that nature. So yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Okay, so far with all my mistakes, I'm still able to keep some separation from the homies behind us. I got the turbo snail in front of me because he might be, I know, my personal favorite. I said, oh yeah, dude, exactly, yeah, my shit's on hella fucking private. Yeah, same way. I've had it like that for some time now. Frankly, back since like really when this all started, right, in 2016 with the whole initial rise of Donald Trump, man, I realized, you know, I came to see like a lot of people's true colors. And, you know, again, man, not to be the pot called the kettle black that I'm some paradigm perfection, right? But I don't know, I kind of draw the line if you're being outwardly racist or outwardly xenophobic, right? Hating on my friends and my family, right, for their lifestyle, whatever that may choose to be, right? And I can't fucks with those people, man. And you know, man, I work, again, I said where I live here in the Central Valley, California. It's a very rural zone. A lot of Trump supporters. I actually work with some dudes who are actually work with multiple people, I'm certain, that are Trump supporters. They're not being as vocal about it at where we're at right now currently, and but I can tell from their behavior in general that it makes all the sense in the world, right? That they back that shit. They're just very, you know what I'm saying, man? Like, again, I'm not some paradigm perfection, right? But you can tell when someone's just fucking had like a trouble dealing with other human beings, man, and I can relate to that, man. I'm not faulting someone for having lacking in social skills to whatever degree that may be, right? Like for myself, again, I mentioned I started drinking when I was 12, and I started drinking because up until then, man, I didn't know who I was. I felt like fucking hella shy. I was made fun of as a kid because of how skinny I was. And when I put that alcohol in my body, man, it made me feel like I slammed down a can of spinach and I turned into Popeye. For those that don't know, Popeye was a famous cartoon character. Maybe, again, I'm old, so maybe some people aren't too familiar with Popeye. But and that's how I dealt with social interactions, right? And when I stopped drinking, when I was a month shy of 41 years old, frankly, I didn't know how to talk to people really without being drunk. I was afraid to go to like social functions at our skateboard park. When the woman who I got sober for to attempt to do what I could to save our relationship, when she finally, like 6 months into my not drinking, left, I was like, wow, I don't know what to do, right? And I had this buddy of mine, and he says, Hector, man, he's like, it's simple. You just got to learn to live by yourself. And I remember thinking to myself, like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I've been living by myself for a long ass time, right? Like my ex-wife kicked me out hell long before that, right? But what he wasn't talking about, like me, like being in, like my own physical abode, right? What he was talking about is me living in my own skin and being okay with that around other people. And it's been a practice, right? I remember I'm a salesperson at my work. I sell tires and for automobiles. And I remember one day, it was early on. I was about, I don't know, maybe like 8 months into sobriety. Again, chick that I got sober for left. I'm like losing my mind, and I'm going to like 3-4 AA meetings a day. I'm not supposed to admit that I'm going to AA meetings, but yeah, I have no problem admitting it, man. As a matter of fact, anybody ever there out there in the Raceland, YouTube land, ever needs any assistance on how to go about locating a place they can help one, deal with what's going through, especially when it comes to active alcoholism, right? Anytime, feel free to hit me up. But so I'm doing all these meetings, right? I'm losing my mind, and I'm at work, and often my work site is extremely busy, right? I got tons of people coming in, tons of people calling me on the phone, and usually I'm a one-man show at my sales counter. More often than not, the other guys working alongside me are actually busy doing the actual installation of the tires and the tire services, etc., right? I used to do that. I've been doing tires for all over. I say I always drank alcohol in moderation. Yeah, and I tell you what, man, good for you. Not everyone can do that. As I come to understand it, there's the actual percentage of alcoholics isn't too huge. It's kind of like we often analogize it is that we have like an allergy, right? Like my body processes alcohol differently than others. And, it's active alcoholism or drug addiction is a hellish existence that I wouldn't want to wish upon anybody. So to all my friends out there, yourself included, Warrock, they're able to, get by with life without having to use alcohol or drugs as a crutch, man. I gotta say, it's more power to you, and not only that, man, it's ultra healthy, right? I remember when I first got sober, the chick I got sober for, she's like, not only was I like worried about you because I didn't know who you were gonna be since I turned 20, I didn't think it'd be hard to get drunk. I never went to parties to drink either. See, yeah, exactly. So your growing experience was completely opposite mine. That's what I went to parties for, was to get fucking hammered. So it's again, we all, right, we're just on that note, I just gotta say, that's your experience, right? And frankly, had I been my drinking and using days, I'd be like, I don't fuck with people who don't party, I don't trust them and all that, right? But even though we have differences, right, we can still have that shared connection with racing. And I think the same can be said when we can have a shared relationship on planet Earth with one another. I was, and forgive me if I'm just going off like some crazy tangent, but I was, again, going back to the whole insanity of putting American troops in American cities and causing all this chaos and just straight fucking with people, right? That's what they're doing, man. They're walking up to people, whether here illegally or legally, right? It doesn't change the fact that they're fucking with people, and it's almost like these fucking guys and these fucking clowns and these fucking ICE agent patch fucking fatigues, right? Like they get off on that shit, right? And you know, in the grand scheme of things, think about it, right? Like we're all on a round rock, right? A lava cord fucking rock surrounded by ocean. Yeah, right? And we're floating. Yeah, exactly. Learn how to love and forget about hate. And to be fair, not everyone has learned how to do that for whatever reason. Like they might have had some sort of troubled issues, right? But you know, if you can do it, then if you can conceive that notion as a possibility for oneself to learn how to be cool to other people, then I think you're morally obligated, and I think one's own moral compass, right, inside should point you in that fucking direction, man. So and again, man, we're all on a great round rock that was created by dust from some sort of, you know, I don't know, a lot of people are like speculating how did the earth actually come about, right? Some people think that it was we were like leftover remnants after the initial Big Bang, right? And there was just all this material floating out in space, and gravity causes it to spin, and you know, they coalesce into some coalesce into stars, right? Depending on what the material involved was, some coalesce into planets. But think about that, right? We're on a round fucking rock spaceship spinning around a great fucking nuclear reactor in fucking outer space. Think about that, right? There's other planets within our solar system, right? Also spinning around a great nuclear reactor, yet those other planets didn't have the luck of the draw that Earth did to be in they often refer to as the Goldilocks zone, right? Just the perfect distance from the sun, right? So we didn't get too hot, we didn't get too cold, relatively speaking, right? To allow life to take hold, right? We were essentially, I think the main going theory is that, you know, the early Earth planetoid was bombarded with you know, objects from outer space that had chemicals and acids and that were the building blocks of life, right? Like how fantastically beautiful is that, right? And yet we just want to fuck with each other, right? Like I've said in the past that we as human beings, right, like we're like pack animals, which is a natural defense mechanism, right, of nature, right? We want to look out for one another. That's how our pack will survive. And on that note, in the past, I've used the term tribalistic to describe that. I actually had a regular customer of mine come into my work, and she and I were talking about this exact subject, and she corrected me. She's like, Hector, she's like, I prefer that you not use the word tribalistic as a Native American, which I'm also brown skinned, right? And so thus I'm Native American. But she's like, well, that's essentially taking our word of tribal. So I was like, you know what? I learned something new today. Thank you for telling me that, right? So I'm gonna, anyways, I just want to clear that up. I've used that term in the past, and I didn't know. And again, that's going back to once I may not have known before, and you know, she's not going to be like, hey, Hector, you're an asshole for that. But now that she's told me, right, it's on to me. It's my onus that I need to be respectful of that, man. So, anyways, yeah. Again, hope I'm not going on too much of a tangent, man. But yeah, these are just all the rambling that are going on my mind. So again, hey, Warhawk, thanks for hanging out. Been a real treat. Always a bonus to talk to you. I can tell we've got some shared experiences, right? And we've also got some differences, right? But we can often find our we can look for not so much the differences, right, but shared experience, right? They'll often talk about that in our AA meetings, right? That you don't want to, like for me, for example, early on I would go in and be like, oh, I'm hearing him talk about that never happened to me, right? I don't want to listen to what the looking out for differences. I want to look for ways that I can relate to one saying, like, oh, that didn't happen to me, but you know what? Yeah, that event sure as fuck did happen to me. So, all right, we are coming up to now the tail end of lap number 8. Second race on the day, second race on the stream. This will be my ultimate race. After this, I'm going to go chill out and get some food in my belly. So again, yeah, LVP, Warhawk, thanks for stopping by, y'all. Much respect to y'all, wherever you may be. Much love for you and your familias. Again, hope everyone does well out there, and everyone across this country, everyone across the fucking world, man. What's going on here in the States is something, again, that I never imagined, but something that, frankly, I mean, when have we not heard of similar scenarios going on in other countries, right? Like, we have a legitimate, right now in America, the United States of America, legitimate wannabe fucking fascist dictator. And frankly, I don't even think it's really him anymore, though, again. I think he's fucking just off his rocker at this point. And other dudes are kind of pulling the strings, behind the stage. But yeah, it's surreal, and it's a dark cloud, and it feels like every day is a fucking living nightmare. I remember the first back in 2016 when we first had to deal with 4 years of fucking Donald Trump, right? Every single day I was listening to NPR just to like stay on top of what the next fucking chaotic thing was going to be, right? And at that point, I think there was still at least a facade that those around him, his enablers, especially in the Republican Party and the MAGA movement, right? I think there was still enough level-headed people that were essentially holding him back from like going full fucking bananas. But it's like all those people have been like, you know what? Nah, we're gonna get rich off this, or I don't know, man. I don't know how you can look at yourself in the mirror as a public servant serving, right, in some capacity with the federal government, and not speak out. Every single one of them not speak out against what's going on. Frankly, I think every citizen of this nation should all be standing up in unison out in protest right now in every single fucking moment that he's in the Oval Office. Yeah, it's gross. All right, so what are we on? We're on. Oh, okay, we just started lap number 10. I was like, God damn it, we're still on lap number 9. I thought we were just on this one. So yeah, shout out to Turbo Snail. Turbo Snail has been. I didn't want to go to first right there, but I certainly did. Turbo Snail has been killing it all race. Turbo Lagoon's got the fastest lap, 45.2. That's fantastic. Was I watching a race last night? No, I was in a race last night over here in Asia, and there's a cat who hit a 44.5 in race. That's like my best time in qualifying, and these cats are hitting it in race. So I haven't quite cracked the code yet to get any lower than my current qualifying best, which is the 44.5. I know, and I was telling the homies at the job, hey, shout out Ernesto, Tristan, and the Man Dog. I was telling them I'm claiming a 44.2 by the end of the week. I'm pretty sure I got that in my grasp. At this point right now, that my immediate goal is to be the 0.3. Just haven't been able to crack the code on the 43s, unlike a lot of my homies, aka the Broccoli the Cheddar. Shout out to that homie, man, Broccoli the Cheddar. If you don't already know, streamer out of the Garden State, the New Jersey. I want to say like Cheddar's time's like a 43.5 or some shit like that, maybe even lower. Insane, man. So, all right, we're coming up to the final stretch, final lap. Start off P2. Looks like we're going to get out of here with a P2 finish. I will take a podium finish indeed. Especially with my G70 competing against these. As I understand it, again, I'm told that Alfa Romeo is a lot faster. I can't figure it out, man. So however these guys are doing it, like, more power to them. I haven't been able to figure it out. All right, got quite a few 45 laps in there. All right, so yeah, that race is done. I'm going to go and be calling it now. Again, everybody who stopped by the LVP and the motherfucking place to be, the Warhawk. Appreciate y'all. The Warhawk, if you still be out, if you still happen to be out there, look forward to checking out your liveries. LVP, if you still happen to be out there, shout out to you on all your success on the go-karts. Streamers as well, streaming as well. Dude, look at the homie, the Tooch was running the, I got some old messages. I didn't even realize that Tooch was running the Mazda 3. Shout out to that homie. That's fucking awesome. And shout out to Turbo Snail. All right, I will take it. And another clean erase bonus, excuse me. I will take that as well. Where's the Tooch? Mazda. Guess these guys already took off. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go and get out of here. Again, everyone stop by. Appreciate it. Great racing to all. More importantly, safe and stoking living for everyone out there, man. Again, my protest sign right there kind of says it all on where I'm at. It's insane where we're at. So yeah, I mean, I think I've already spoken enough on it, and again, anybody, forgive me if I was rambling on, man, but I kind of got to get it out of me, man. I can't hold it in, man. I think all of us should be talking about this. It's these are really dark times, man, and I won't be quiet about it. I'm going to be as vocal as I can at every opportunity. I'm going to be out there protesting at every opportunity. I'm going to be out there being of service to my neighbors when the opportunity presents itself, right? I can't sit back and just not act. So yeah. All right. So hey, as always, I'm gonna end my stream on fuck the war pigs, right? Specifically here in the motherfucking United States of America. We got this motherfucker going into Venezuela, talking shit to Greenland, talking shit to Mexico, talking shit to Cuba, talking shit to everyone. And the same goes for other fucking inner human being so-called dictators around the planet, man. Fuck all those guys. Pulling the puppet strings, hitting the poor against the poor, right? Again, going back to what's going on here in the States. These ICE agents, right? These fucking gangs of fucking armed. What do you call them? Just morons? I mean, they're insane and they're stupid, right? And they're armed. And they're beholden to and apparently loyal to a fucking convicted criminal, convicted rapist, accused and known cohort of a convicted pedophile, failed businessman, con man, genuine fucking idiot, liar, right? Somehow that fucking insanity has convinced so many poor ass people in the US that he's there for them and thus they should go out and shoot mothers in the face in his name. Fuck the war pigs. Stop shooting people, stop bombing people, human race. We can absolutely do better. Will it ever end? Fuck no. There's always going to be the Donald Trumps of the world. There's always going to be the morons that follow them. But yeah, as a whole, right, we want to do better. We want to help each other out. We want to share our experiences wherever we may be on this planet. And yeah, we want to love it, and love wants to move forward and progress. So yeah, fuck those guys. Speaking of love, all love for you and yours. All stoked for you and yours. Every new day, go get it. Keep your head in the clouds, your feet on the ground, one foot in front of the next. One able to be of service to another. Again, there and truly lies the reward in this episode of Beef Miracle we call life. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully I will see you all again soon. Again, I just haven't been streaming as much late. It's just been dark times. Shout out to all the people in Minnesota. Shout out to the people in LA. Shout out to people in the Bay, all over this country. Portland, Oregon, Washington D.C., all the towns that essentially armed agents of armed gangs of Donald Trump are occupying American cities. So yeah, peace to everyone out there. I will see y'all. I'm out. Bye.